Hey, everybody, coming to you from my little place in Kansas City, Missouri, where I hang out in the summers to be closer to my parents who have hit their 90s and need my help. So people ask me where I am, and that's where I am this week. That may change before the class is over. In fact, I'm positive it will, since my daughter's having a baby this weekend, and probably come to you next from St. Louis. Okay. So I want to spend a little bit of time just talking about two things, both having to do with discussion 3. So the first thing I want to talk about, just to get it out of the way, is I'm offering everybody who did not get the points that you feel you wanted to have a do-over, a mulligan. And the reason for that is because I have noticed in my years of teaching that people get very excited about the stories that they are typing up for me, and then they don't actually go back and double check the assignment prompt and see if they've answered the question. This is a common thing. I hate docking you points for it. So just for discussion 3, I am raising this issue of double checking the prompts and giving you a chance to go back and correct if you lost points for this reason. In the future, I won't, because every time I have to go back and regrade, it just eats an enormous amount of time. This class takes a really lot of time for you, for reading and writing, and for me, for reading and grading. And so I don't want to add extra time swallowers in my grading. But this time, because we're so close to the beginning of the class and I still want you to get the hang of it, I'm going to give you that opportunity to go back. If you happen to think that you actually did answer the prompts, but I docked you for not answering the prompts, I guess my advice to you would be this. I use specific language with those prompts. It is easier for me to find that you've actually answered my question if you use the same language I do. So if I, for example, like in discussion 3, I ask you to tell me what you thought was the most important prompt, you might start telling me that by saying the most important prompt is. Or I think I asked you for 2 to 4 reasons why something was particularly innovative. You might start by saying the reasons why such and such is particularly innovative are. Those are guideposts that get me right to your information. If you didn't use words, or if you buried your ideas in a larger bit of information, then I may not have figured it out. So please make it easy for me to give you all your points. Okay, that was thing 1. The other thing I want to just talk about is a little bit about what innovation is and how to spot it. I'm not going to go too deeply into, in fact, maybe not at all, into definitions of innovation, because we're already talking about that in the rest of the assignment and the whole rest of the semester, actually, in one way or another. But I do want to help you learn to think like an innovator, and to help you learn how to look at these projects and discern what the innovations are and what they are not. Okay, so first of all, not all your programs seemed innovative to me. It doesn't mean that they aren't. It may just mean that you didn't make a convincing argument to me, or it may be that you didn't make any argument. That would be the people who didn't follow the prompts, whatever. You will see that if I didn't think it was necessarily innovative, that I challenged you in the comments that I leave in Gradebook. I hope that you will actually take the time to look at my comments and to think about the challenges that I left for you. I love it when you actually address them and answer me right in that same space. I will find it. But even if you don't have time to do that, just please think about what I'm saying to you. And I might be wrong. You may just have not convinced me for one reason or other, and I do tell you why I'm not convinced. So we can have an interesting discussion about it, but at least please think about it. The second thing is that a program doesn't have to be innovative to be good. There are lots of programs that are based on tried and true principles that work beautifully, right? And so a really wonderful program can be wonderful without being innovative. And I think some of the programs that you brought for us fall into that category. When you see a program being newly implemented, but it's based on old ideas that have been around for a long time, ideas that other organizations have used, or maybe were used in one city and now are being implemented in another city. We call that scaling up. It doesn't make it innovative. It just means we recognize the utility of a particular set of programs, and we're going to replicate them. So if I've thought that that's what you're doing, I've also said that to you. It does not have to be innovative to be a super program. Okay, sometimes a program is innovative, but maybe I don't think you put your finger on why. I'm about to embarrass Jean-Pierre, and please, Jean-Pierre, forgive me for this, but you gave me such a chuckle. You used the tale of the loaves and fishes from the New Testament as your pointer to why this program, the program that you were talking about, was innovative. And I had to laugh because any idea that is 2,000 years old in its execution probably is not so innovative. And also, there happen to be lots and lots of food recovery programs out there. Maybe it wasn't a food recovery program. I'm trying to think of what it was. But at any rate, I think it was. But regardless, there happen to be lots of programs out there that have done the kind of thing that you're doing. But there were some things that were very innovative about your program. I just don't think that you looked closely enough to figure out what they were. When you have a program that lots of other people have tried to do similar things and it hasn't really succeeded, and now you've got a program and it's succeeding wildly, you want to ask, what is it about this that's different? And it's where that difference is that you're going to find your innovation. Okay, so what is my point here? My point is really just, I want us to think more specifically. I want us to be investigators. I want us to be Columbo. I want us to figure out why a particular program is, and where is the innovation, rather than just thinking that because this is a great program that works, that it's innovative. So I'm going to give you another example, and I apologize, I can't remember who used it, but another food recovery program was Starbucks. Somebody reported about Starbucks in 2000, and I think it was 16 or 17. Starbucks officially created a program so that people, food service, food providers, charities could utilize leftover food products from Starbucks that they could no longer legally sell, and that was put forward as an innovative program. So first of all, Starbucks has allowed any individual facility across the country to do that if they wanted to for years and years and years. The first I knew of it was in about 2000 when a friend of mine who happened to be, I was a lobbyist at the time, she was a state legislator, and a couple times a week she stopped by 3 Starbucks in Scottsdale, Arizona to pick up their stuff and deliver them to a food charity. And she was telling me that not all the Starbucks were willing to do it, but these 3 were. And so Starbucks has just let individual stores do it if they wanted to. Second of all, there are lots and lots of food manufacturers, restaurants, and grocery stores and other retail establishments that have food involved that have been letting charities come and get their leftovers to the extent that they could for a long time. And so this really isn't a new idea, but there was, I think, an innovation in what Starbucks did. And that is that Starbucks has a superpower. Its superpower is consistency, if you think about it. And I think it's that superpower that they applied that made their official version of the program, which they didn't launch until 2016 or 17, whatever year it was. I think that's what made it innovative. So why do I say that? If you think about Starbucks, you can go into any Starbucks anywhere in the country from Alaska to Florida, any time of day that they're open, and you can order a latte. And you can go into a completely different Starbucks on a different day in a different state and order a latte 3 days later, and both lattes taste identical because they have perfected the superpower of consistency, and you get what you expect to get. You always know what it's going to taste like. If somebody fixes something differently, you are really surprised, and you think they must have a new trainee at the desk, right? the station. So what I think Starbucks did that was innovative was that they applied their superpower and standardized the way that all these stores can do it to ensure that the most food could be recovered, and that it was the most efficient way of doing it for the store managers and their employees and so forth. You just have to look a little deeper. Where is that innovation? Okay, so that's it. I just wanted to come to you and give you that a little bit of feedback, and invite those of you who want to get your points up for discussion 3 only. Remember, last chance, not going to do it for discussion 4 or 5 or etc. To go ahead and do that. You are welcome to do it. And it's been great reading all of your materials. They are great stories, great programs. Thank you for sharing. See you on Canvas.